Hello, this is a presentation about Marvin depot scheduling. My name is Pedro Loures and I have a bachelor degree in mine engineering at FOP. My area of interest is mine planning. Here, I'm going to explain some difference between the traditional methodology and the DBS. DBS means direct block scheduling, that is a new way to optimize the final bit that could improve the net present value of your mine. As you can see, on the traditional methodology, there are 7 steps that require knowledge and accuracy to choose the best pushbacks. It's common to use the last gross algorithm. In this case, it is not considered the factor time and a discount rate, so it doesn't represent the reality. The DBS is a new methodology that has been studied on the last years. The main idea of that is to use constraint and discount rate on the process of calculating the ultimate bid, just in one step, and choose automatically the best scenario. Here, it's possible to understand the basic idea of the algorithm used on DBS. As you can see, this function aims to maximize the cumulative net present value under constraints. The process of using the DBS begins with index calculating on the free space directions. As you can see, it's necessary to use this specific formula and organize the Marvin table editor. The next step is to calculate the block tons that you'll be using in the process of calculating the tons of the metals like copper and gold. It is also necessary to use the final formulas to discover the economic value of each block for the process and the waste scenario. My project were divided into two scenarios, the scenario A and the scenario B, and you can see here some parameters that you need to input on SimSched. As you can see, the recovery, processing cost, mining cost, and discount rate have the same values for both scenarios, because they are the same plant. I decided to change only the price of selling the metal, because of a trend analysis. Different parameters refers to the density, discount rate, and slope angles. The value of slope angles and density were proposed by MineMath Associates. The recovery is similar for both scenarios. In this case, it's 88% for the copper and 60% for gold. Now, I'm going to show the constraint that you can put on the SimSched, like the minimum bottom width, the minimum mining width, and the vertical rate of advance. As you can see, for the both scenarios, the minimum mining width is equal to 50 meters. There is a difference between the minimum width bottom of the scenario A for the scenario B and for the vertical rate of advance. The constraint is the surface limits, and in this case, there is nothing to use. Similarly to the surface limits, there is no blend in the both scenarios. Here, you can see the results for the scenario B, the filtering color by period in the respective topography. It is also possible to filter by period. This picture shows us the first and the last period together. The SimSched will export our important documents in the CSV, like topography by period. Also, it's possible to import into different softwares. In this image, I tried to do that with one commercial software with license. Here, there is an overview of scenario A with the constraints and some parameters. And here, the result with the mathematical final bid for this case. The SimSched will produce a lot of graphs to be used in reporting and reviews. Here we can conclude that the scenario A had more periods than scenario B. Maybe it's because the difference constraints in the vertical advance rate. Here there is the MPV by period, and here the cumulative MPV that is higher on the scenario B, basically because the higher price of the selling the metals. That's all for now. Best regards and see you soon.